I've had enough of AI. It's stupid. Wow, the past days I have been overwhelmed and starting to actually lose will to just keep moving forward because of AI. They all try to say that AI is trying to make our lives better. People try to do things to make our lives easier and better. And yet, every single time I hear something new, it is making me want to not live even more. Why is this? Why do people like me have this just mindset that every time there's big progress, with AI specifically, at least, that it's closer to us just being dead, whether we like it or not? It's one really simple thing. CEOs and workers, mostly CEOs, have not been able to be trusted by the common consumer for a very long time. Or, well, I guess they have been trusted for a while, but they've been trusted very poorly, and everyone else who doesn't trust them is immediately getting shut down. We see that with people like Tom McDonald or Charlie Kirk. They're the kind of people that are getting so much backlash or even murdered because they see what is really happening. That is the kind of stuff that we're coming to, and truly, that's not even the worst. Honestly, I think that's just beginner level things right now, and it's only the beginning. In fact, no, it's the beginning of the end, really. I have watched a video recently, and it was a person going over the 12 different endings that researchers on AI and theorists and all those people commonly agree on are the 12 endings that are probably going to happen with AI. Now, obviously, a lot of them seem pretty crazy, and there's a lot to a lot of them, and I'm not going to try to bore you with all of that because that, once again, you can just go watch that video. It's literally, as I said, 12 things that people predict or scientists predict that is going to happen because of AI or whatever the specific wording is. Really, what it's saying is that either way, us as humans are pretty much just fucked. Okay, I said it. I said it. Okay, and people like my parents don't believe that. They believe, the CEOs just want more money. They want to have it be easier. They want to make more money while spending less. And yes, while that is a good thing in every business, however, that is something that I probably have already going to have posted about the industry and how things should work. But that is a point where that's too much. You're not diversifying in any sort of way or shape or just anything. You're doing way too much to try to minimize things, and you're getting rid of humans. 10%, I want to make that clear, 10% of AI developers and researchers directly say and agree that AI should be either A, a successor, or B, just be the reason why humans go extinct, and it should be as soon as possible. 10% of the people working on making AI for big corporations. 10%. 1 out of 10 people are trying to end humanity. Let that let that think in your mind for a little bit. 10% of people that are working on our future want humans to not be alive anymore. Okay, well, let's just say that they're a bunch of delusional and that's fake statistics, and maybe it's 1 in every 1,000, and it's just a mentally insane person. That's 1 in 1,000. There's billions of people. Even if you divide that down to even say 100 million AI developers and researchers and scientists, that's still a lot of people. Even a million, that's still a lot of people. And that is going to continue to grow. And where does this come from? Because obviously, if that percentage is actually true, then Where is this coming from? Because obviously we don't just have 10% of people believing this because they can. CEOs are the problem. There is a lot of hate against CEOs. This is why CEOs are being assassinated. This is why CEOs are getting so much backlash. This is why CEOs try to cover up everything and they lobby for laws. There has been lobbying for a 10-year agreement with the US government to not have intervening in AI that is being, well, lobbied right now. That potentially could happen. You've already seen what AI can do without regulations just these past years. Imagine 10 years as it slowly gets ramped up. That is where the ending of humanity comes. Now, as I was talking about the CEOs, I'm not getting off track. The CEOs blatantly say in public, they say it not only in like presentations, they say it out loud, they say it on social media, they say it everywhere, they say it just in recordings, they say it in personal one-on-one meetings, anytime they say it, anywhere you could think they could say it. They are saying that one, AI is very likely to end up murking everyone in the world. You know, that's pretty scary that majority of AI CEOs have done that. And even ex AI CEOs, one that stepped down, he even said that it was so dangerous and so potentially murderous that he decided to leave the company. I believe it was Microsoft. I could be wrong though. And he said that he wanted to leave so he couldn't get backlash, he couldn't get fired because he could get punished for speaking out while he has the job. I'm sorry, a CEO was scared of being overran by lower down people in the business because of speaking out against AI. And not even really speaking out, it's just saying what truly is there. Can you fathom that one of the only good CEOs that has to do with AI is literally scared of just trying to stop AI? I'm sorry, I got a little sad there. Like, I what do I say to that? What does anyone say to that? A creator is hating his own creations. What 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 do you mean? He's playing God and he's sad. Now any Christian, any Catholic, whatever, would just would assume probably that God loves his creations. If he was to cry, if he was to be sad, it would be joyful in a way for his creations by being God, playing God, whatever. But when a normal human is doing this and he's genuinely sad, where are we at in our lives? Where are we at with the world? Sorry, I had to take a break from a second there. Golly, I was getting really heated, like trying to just talk about this. You know, there's a whole crisis about how kids aren't trying to grow up and they're just wasting their lives. And in fact, I made a video on that. Being a real man or being a man today is like being a boy in 1900s. Golly, I can't even speak. It's it's because of AI. AI is the problem. If we didn't have AI, the world would be so much better. This is why I want people to join my anti-AI organization. I understand that some you don't want to backlash, you don't want to do anything. Just I have a Discord. It's for free. There's nothing to do anything. You just have to be there. In fact, I'm still waiting on people for to the first 10 people to end up actually joining because then I can call them elites just no matter what. Obviously, there's no subscription, there's no paying, there's none of that. All I'm saying is that the elites are the first people who actually try and people that earn it. That's all I really have to say for that stuff. Like, all it is just trying to find ways to waste company money. Right now, for my research, we need to get rid of Microsoft and Apple. They're the only ones turning a profit. Things like OpenAI, they end up having a lot of negatives. And yes, Microsoft owns like 26 or 27% of OpenAI stocks and all that. So if we actively hurt OpenAI and like the ChatGPT and all that, we're actively hurting Microsoft a lot. That right there is a strategy. So this is what I want. I really just want people to join this anti-AI pact. Okay, this Molotov-Ribbentrop pact, just without the backstab. We just need to deal with AI. We need to manage it. Once again, going back to that statistic, 10% of AI researchers and scientists and all that believe that AI should be a successor to humans or at least be the reason humans go extinct in the near future. When I say near future, I don't mean 10,000 years from now. I mean within 100 max. That's if we survive for 100 years. We could be nothing fairly quickly. And there's multiple theories, obviously, as I was saying, the 12 ways that it likely would end up going out. What's insane about it is that we think of this as like the Cold War, right? The Cold War, everyone thought everyone was going to die because of nuclear bombs and the war and nuclear fallout and all that. And that was a real threat. Like, that was humans killing humans, and it was just bleh. Except that's not the problem. Humans, yes, are the direct cause of the problem. However, they are only as much of a problem as we let them. We just have to actually beat them. And it's not hard because it's not a government. The government can do whatever it wants with AI because the government's going to do what it can to stay a thing. The government can only benefit if it's staying a thing. That is why I am 100% confident in the government that the fact that it won't at least directly screw us over. It probably still will, yes. However, we can worry about that at a different time. What we need to worry about is AI companies. These companies are driving for good revenue or are getting massive revenue in billions of dollars. Okay? I did some research and Microsoft has gained billions. Let me say that. Billions of dollars over the past months so far in 2026. And other other companies have ended up losing several billions. And that gap doesn't matter though. What do I even say at this point? Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, we need to work on this. People, please, please. I'm genuinely begging. I'm begging practically on my knees for people to do something. You don't even have to join the Discord. You don't have to do any stupid other stuff. 5 minutes a day. No, 1 minute a day. You give questions to a bunch of different AIs. You can have one copied thing. Especially if you have a computer, you just copy it onto like Google Docs or Word or whatever. And you just copy that into a bunch of AIs. I am trying to make things with AI, like make apps with like Base 44 or whatever, to try and use AI and then abuse it by having AI work on AI and trying to use as much money as possible. This is this kind of stuff that just I feel it is actually the only way. Because obviously AI companies can have as many lobbyers as they want to try to convince the government. And the government only benefits because if people start paying extra to the government and having them have more control over the people, that's what matters. Now, obviously, this does not reflect my political views on like certain presidents or way of government. This is the truth, whether you're in this stupid two-party system or not. This is what we have to deal with. Our number one priority, my number one priority, okay, is to make a group of people that actually want to stop AI. There is, in my opinion, only two good endings, really. Number one good ending is that we just obliterate AI companies. We obliterate the ability to make AI. Number two is that we make a AI that'll just stop all other AIs from being made, or at least advanced ones. Those are the only two worlds that I see that actually end up having a human society that works. Now, I do have a business model. You know what? This is something I'll talk about just to increase video length and all that. Okay? My business model for when I grow up, what I want to do is to, well, one, have it so that we can train AI by using AI. However, that just goes along with my organization. The other business is to give jobs to people because AI is taking away jobs. You do a job with your hand, you do get your own skills, you get your own work. I pay you for getting me money. Okay? I pay you for the job just in general. The better you do, the better money you get, or just the tougher the job, the more money you get. If you decide to be bad about it, you're not going to get paid. But if you continue to bring actual value, that's when you actually start getting money. Mind you, AI in the future is very likely to take away a lot of jobs and stop people from being able to make money. Without money, the economy collapses. I don't think I'm going to be able to invest to actually have a future. I am too young to start investing. I am far too young to start investing without like legal parent stuff, whatever. And yet, it doesn't matter. Even if I started now, like I'd have to put all of my money in, all of it. It would have to go perfectly the entire time. I would have to have a massive market like increase. Probably have to sell everything really for when the massive drop happens from economic fail, and try to just buy low and hope that society actually returns. That's my plan with investing. Mind you, I am banking on the fact that I can start investing when things get high and sell, and the fact that society will come back. Those are two very hard things to do and to predict. Being a person that tries to predict the market is incredibly hard and honestly a losing game. But then to on top of that, try to debate and predict that the entire world will get back up once it falls to nothing, essentially. I am banking on a future that isn't going to happen. Why am I banking on a future that isn't going to happen? Because it's the future that we should be having. We shouldn't be having a future where we don't have the right to do things ourselves. We don't have the right to do things that we love, that we enjoy, because AI is doing it for us. How am I supposed to keep a child? My child. Okay, how am I supposed to keep my child away from technology? The only thing I can do is do like private schooling, or not even private schooling, like learning at home school. And granted, if I live in America, that's going to be practically impossible because America takes away all your rights. But, if I can manage to move to another country, maybe I can raise a child that goes minimal on electronics. But then again, what about the future with a ton of electronics? I'm actively trying to save a child while absolutely ruining their life. I'm not a parent yet, obviously, as I was just talking about when I have a kid. However, I already understand the feeling of forcing your kid into a position where either way it's bad. I might not have felt it personally, but all I know is that it's going to happen. There's going to be so many families that are going to try to be so far away from electronics, like rural families, like farm families. They're going to try. And for a while, they might try to succeed. Farming is actually probably one of the only jobs that's going to be fair. Then again, AI can just do that too. So why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we letting the CEOs do things? Obviously, I'm not just here to complain. I will say one good thing. The new, uh, I think it's either Microsoft or no, I think it's more the head of Xbox, the new CEO of Xbox. She has been glorious. I have never been more proud of a CEO in my life than the CEO I have seen for Xbox this past, like, I don't know, I think it's like been 2 months. She has made Xbox prices and stuff go down, down, down. And yet, they're still trying to make more profit. They're still trying to increase gamers, and they're succeeding, or at least they're becoming a lot better than a lot of the profiles on other companies like Sony for PlayStation or whatever owns PlayStation. I don't remember. I'm not a PlayStation guy. But that doesn't matter because all we have is the future to try to defend. And I can rant as much as I want. It doesn't matter if I rant. All that matters is that you guys do something. So really, if you want to join the Discord, whatever, and try to fight, try to do research, try to actually do things. Try to use AI as much as you can without getting value to the company. Okay? It's okay, whatever. Just goodbye, guys. Like if you guys don't believe me, if you guys think that I'm stupid, comment whatever. If you don't believe that we should be getting rid of AI, then why are you even this far? Really? Over now.